Hello friends and family, Stephen here. Welcome back to Small Adventures. This will be another Adventures in a Small Scale. Today we're going to do an overdue stash ads update for kits that I've picked up in the months of November and December. Stay tuned. I had planned on doing this by the end of the year and thought that everything that I had ordered would be in by the end of the year because I made an order on the 29th. It came in a few days after the first of the year, but I've had an order with Model Roundup since November. Was a pre-order. Included in that order was a couple of those 1960 Ford pickup re-releases from Round 2 models. And Round 2 hasn't shipped those out yet, so still waiting on that one, but I'll leave a list of what's coming from that order at the end of this video. Anyhow, let's get this started. Since I mentioned Model Roundup first, I picked these two up from Model Roundup. One of them's a brand new release, and one of them I didn't have. Is a fairly recent release. Y'all know I like Richard Petty. I didn't have his 85 car. Now, I may not be buying or building the modern day current NASCAR kits, but I do still like the older ones. And just released, hot off of the molds, Bill Elliott's 1987 or 1988 Thunderbird. From Mike's Decals, I picked up one new kit that's a recent release, and y'all know I had to get this one. You know, I have some of the old releases of this kit, but this is the new one, so it should have new decals, it'll have better chrome, etc. So, you know, I had to pick that up. And I picked up several donor kits and sets of decals for those kits. First is this Model King re-release of a 1972 Monte Carlo NASCAR kit. What I'll do is I'll show the decals at the end of this video separate from the kits. And a couple of the 78 Monte Carlos for use with other decals. And another Cale Yarborough Busch Monte Carlo to use with another set of decals. And this next group of kits were all picked up locally. These came from Hobby Lobby with 40% off decals. I got the 50s, I think it's a 53 Ford F100 with the racing trailer. I got it mostly just to get the race trailer. But for 20% off, that made this right around 20-21 bucks. And for a Facebook group build that I was going to enter, but I've decided not to, also ran down and picked this up. MPC 67 GTO. I'm going to talk about group builds in another video in answer to Charlie Mack's question. I think it was Charlie Mack. About group builds and what we think about them and everything. So we're not going to get into that. This is a stash ads. At my local hobby town in November, I picked this up because, you know, I looked through all my kits and I could not find this kit in my stash. I could have sworn I had it. So I went ahead and picked up another one while I was down there. And I picked this one up about a month later, sometime in December, while I was at Hobbytown. Bobby Allison's 83 Champ car. At Ollie's, for $12.99 each, and not all in the same trip, I picked up this Don Nicholson's 62 Chevy Bel Air. I have built one of these kits, but it was a stock 62 Bel Air, and it was a pretty good kit. That was before the house fire, and I just couldn't resist this one for that price. Everybody's going to recognize this one because everybody's getting them at Ollie's. Everybody's got one, as well as C6 Corvette. I think it's a C6. These next few kits all came from eBay. I was watching Jason build his version of this same basic kit, the Mitsubishi Galant GTO from the late 70s. I think this one was from 73, which was basically a Dodge Colt in the States. Inspired me to order one up. And you gotta have a Tamiya Skyline GTR 2000 GTR from early 70s, late 60s. And since I've never built one, and this was a pretty good deal on eBay, still factory sealed, picked up one of the Revell Thunderbolt kits, the Russ Davis Ford, because I've never actually built a Thunderbolt kit. Not even sure if I've had them in my stash. I thought I had, but I can't remember. A semi-grail kit with some box damage, but it's still factory sealed. A Revell Datsun 240Z kit. For those that don't know, I owned a 72 240Z at the same time that I had my first air-cooled Volkswagen. It was a 74 Super Beetle. Back in 90, 91, I sold them while I was in the Army, but I got them before I was in the Army. Loved that little car. And I won this in an auction. I usually don't get into the auctions. If it's something I want, I just look for the buy it nows. This Model King re-release of an AMT 75 Laguna NASCAR kit. This one wasn't the cheapest of the bunch, that's for sure. But I've got plans for this, and my Mike's decal order has a set of decals for this car. Last but not least, from eBay, I picked up this Fujimi Garage and Tool Series. It's a Thule roof rack with a jet bag, and actually comes with a, looks like a circa late 90s Trek 8000 mountain bike. So you know why I got this one. I got it for the bike rack in the bike. This next little group of models came from scaleriders.com. Picked up a set of Aoshima wheels, Aoshima, ever how you want to pronounce it. 14-inch, basically chrome reverse wheels for a tuner car. I cannot remember the name of this car, and I can't read Japanese, but I liked the look of this car, and I've kind of been wanting one. Every time I would go on Scale Riders, I would see it, but they'd be sold out of it, and they had it, and it was a good price, so I went ahead and picked it up. Picked up another 73 Skyline GTR, this one from Fujimi. So now I have one from Aoshima and Fujimi, and we'll compare the two, see how they look together. And one I had been wanting from Aoshima to add to my Volkswagen collection. This is, I think is a 1975 Super Beetle convertible. And for those that don't know or didn't catch it a few minutes ago, my first air-cooled Volkswagen was a 74 Super Beetle, so I've got a kind of a soft spot for Super Beetles. And I have the hardtop version of this kit. So when I saw it for the price that I saw it for, I went ahead and grabbed it. This next group is from multiple orders that I had over the couple of months from Spotlight Hobbies. If you remember recently in a Stash Edge video, my dad picked one of these up at a local flea mall type place, flea market, indoor flea mall. And I wanted one, but they only had one. I saw this at Spotlight Hobbies for a pretty good price, so I picked it up. A 56 Volkswagen oval window from Guns Sangyo. So, really looking forward to building this one. And a semi-grail kit. I just happened to see this when I was scrolling through their available kits. And for the price they had it for, it wasn't even that bad. It was like 30, 40 bucks. Usually I see these on eBay. They're between $60 and $100. You know, so I snatched this one up pretty quick. This was a single kit order. I remember ordering this one. It's a Datsun 510. I've always liked the Datsun 510 cars. Doesn't matter if it's 2-door, 4-door wagon. I would drive one today and drive the wheels off of it if I had one. From round 2 AMT, picked up a more recent release of the venerable old 49 Ford. Gotta love a sedan delivery or a panel van. Picked up a 39 Chevy sedan delivery. And because I missed it the last 2 times they released any version of this kit, picked up a 70 Ford Torino from Revell. Always liked the looks of these cars, but for whatever reason, I missed my opportunity to buy these when they were new releases, and I just didn't want to pay what I've seen them for sealed on eBay. So when they re-released this, I'm like, yep. And these last 2 are a couple of gifts from my dad. One was a Christmas present. Get the dust off here and dog hair. One was a Christmas present. One was actually a few weeks before Christmas. I was over visiting, saw that he had this, asked if he was going to do anything with it, and he said, no, you want it? And I said, sure. I'd like to have a few parts out of it for other builds. A monogram 125th to 59 Cadillac convertible. I'm going to use at least the engine and the wheels out of this kit. Probably more parts out of it. It is open box, but it is all there. Thanks, Pop. I appreciate it. And a Christmas gift from Dad is the Revell Peterbilt 359. They call these the old snap tight kits because these were around in the 80s, and I think they were snap tights then. I don't remember. But if you go on some of the forums online, like Monocar Magazine forums, they refer to these as a snap tight kit. I had built the Kenworth, you know, as you can see, you've seen on this channel. But I had told Dad the other day, we were just talking about truck kits, I said I wouldn't mind having another one of those to build just to set beside the Kenworth. And he got me one. So thanks, Dad. I really appreciate it. And that's all the kits that I picked up. Hold on a minute and we'll get to the decals I picked up at Mike's.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
From Mike's Decals, I picked these up for kits that I have, and I picked up a few donor kits to go with some of these decals. I picked up a set for the Mobius Hudson Hornet, T.W. Chapman's race car, just to build something different from everything else I've seen. Got a set of Cale Yarborough decals to go with one of the donor kits I picked up for the Laguna from the kit that I showed you a while ago. Set of DW decals, Darrell Waltrip. If I'm not mistaken, I'd have to look at. Let's see. Yeah, this is from his Monte Carlo in the mid-70s. Set of Davey Allison decals to go on one of those 72 Monte Carlo kits I've picked up. Another set of Darrell Waltrip decals, which is one of the reasons why I had one of those extra Monte Carlo kits, Salvino's kits. Gotta love DW. And another set of Cale Yarborough decals. So I now have kits or donor kits and decals to build all 3 of Mr. Yarborough's 3 Winston Cup winning championship winning cars from 76, 77, and 78. So that is a hint of future projects. Well, that's it. That's all I've got for this video and for this Stash Ad update. That is over a couple of months time frame. You know how it is. I may not get around to these for a long time. I may not ever get around to them. But I do have intentions and plans for each and every kit or set of decals that I've bought. I've come to the conclusion that buying kits and building kits are probably 2 separate hobbies. But anyways, I want to take a moment. I want to thank all of my subscribers, everybody who likes, shares, comments, leaves a thumbs up, thumbs down. The friendships that I've made here, that's the very best part of YouTube. You guys are the very best part of YouTube. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope everybody had a great new year. We will see you in the next video.
Hold up. love this show.